Path from Poverty's mission is one where we reach across cultures to transform lives and communities by partnering with women's groups, empowering and equipping women to break the cycle of poverty and to live into their God-given potential. Waterborne diseases kill millions of people annually around the world in developing countries. In rural Kenya, women walk the equivalent of 35 hours a week. That is a full-time work week for people here in the US, many people anyway. They take this walk to do what they call fetching water. They carry jerry cans on their back to their homes of water that is not fit for human consumption. They have to boil the water, they put it in the sun, they consume it, and their elderly members of the family and their children often succumb to illness and sometimes even death. Our work in supporting the empowerment of women and partnering as the women in Kenya work together in small groups, building leaders, creating micro enterprises, assisting the most needy, coupled with us supporting them as they do their own work. We support them also by providing 10,000-liter water catchment tanks and also sometimes solar panels so that they can have that at their homes. That is really the power of the Path from Poverty model. Through direct support and partnership with 7 Kenyan women leaders that we call regional program managers, they call themselves regional project managers, it's all the same. There are over 1,600 women today in the Path from Poverty program. So while in Kenya, women are working tirelessly to raise their own money, collect and obtain their own water tanks, we here in the US, through the support of our donors, provide 10 gifts each month, mostly water tanks, sometimes solar panels, to help the efforts in Kenya. What's so powerful about our model is we don't do the work for them. We are in partnership with them, and they are literally our cultural guides into what's needed and how we can be supportive. The organization is in really good shape. We are a small but really strong organization. We've got a great board of directors, although we could use some more people to apply. We've got a great staff, a small staff, but a wonderful staff, great volunteers. We have finances that are in good shape. We've got a strong mission. We work in partnership, again, not going in and doing anything for anyone, but we work in partnership with Path from Poverty in Kenya, which we helped get started 21 years ago. It's important to me and to us that donors know that their gifts are doing exactly what they want them to do. When you give, those dollars are actually helping to change lives in Kenya with women who are supporting each other and through empowerment, through working together, through water tanks, through solar panels, and sometimes girl scholarships, we are doing good work together. Empowerment of women, that is such an important thing. I think about this sometimes and I say, why Path from Poverty? There are plenty of programs around the world, lots and lots of programs around the world that are really important. And we all give to many, many things. But why Path from Poverty? Why is this such an important cause? It's empowerment of women. And I think about this often, actually. And I think if it were just that they were suffering hardship, like if they had to, just sort of figure out how to get food or figure out how to take care of themselves or figure out how to even just get water, it would be a way of life. I look at it and I think it would be maybe akin to my great grandmother and what they had to deal with, as they were sharecropping or whatever back in their era, right? So it's tough, it's hard, it's challenging, but let me tell you why for me, and each of you will give and participate because something about this organization makes sense to you. But I want to share why to me, and I think you'll resonate with this. Empowerment of women. These women, as I said, have to walk for water. And along the way, along their journey, sometimes they are having to deal with things that are pretty horrific. Sometimes it's a wild animal and they have to throw their water down and try to run, okay? Sometimes it's what they call a wild man. And let me back up and say there are wonderful, wonderful men in Kenya. There are some great guys who are pastors and wonderful men who are family men and wonderful men who are just doing all the right things. And there are many, unfortunately, that our women have contended with or have faced or been accosted by who literally on their way to get life-saving water have been raped time and time again. Their children have been raped. And sometimes you've got generations of families with children who are the product of rape, the grandchildren are the product of rape, and so forth. So when women come together and they work together to make it so that that doesn't have to happen, that's why for me, Path from Poverty, it's one of the many reasons, but it's the strongest reason for me why Path from Poverty makes sense. Because I know that if you give a woman a chance, if you show a woman that she's valuable and you show a woman a little bit of how to do something, she will take that a long way. She will not only do it for herself, she'll do it not only for her children, not only for her family, but she will change community. But when that's disrupted by a terrible, horrible act and time again, and family members having to go through that same kind of deal just for life-saving water, that is the power of what we do by getting them life-saving water to their homes through the tanks and helping them to continue to work together so they learn those micro enterprises, so they learn to have that power, that powerful, empowered state that they can do so much better and break the cycle of poverty. So, I wanted to share that because as I think about, again, why I do this work and why it's important to me, that is my why. And I think everyone has to come to a cause with their why. We're changing lives. We're saving lives. We're changing lives. We're helping women and girls survive and thrive. So I want to show you now a montage of women just so that you can kind of see some of the women. Again, we're working with 1,600 women now. That's a number that is way larger than we even had last year. Last year, this time at Arambe, we were at just over 1,200 or so. So we've grown significantly. But let's take a look at the slideshow of the montage of women. Okay, now we have a special treat for you. We have our RPMs, again, the regional program managers, as sort of our keynote. And while they can't be live and in person, we definitely want them to be a voice or voices that you can actually hear why Path from Poverty is so powerful, so important to them. So I'm going to introduce you to Monica, Beatrice, Elizabeth, Regina, Susan, Sue, and Agnes, and let them go ahead and tell you why this is important.
Hello viewers, I'm Monica Mudoka from Tulimani Cluster, Kenya. Unity between Kenyan women who work very hard, US sisters and our donors who play a big role as made Path from Poverty very powerful and has changed many Kenyan families in health, education and many more. I pray this year we get more donors. Be blessed.
Hello, my name is Beatrice Maundu from Kibwezi Cluster. I thank God because of what Path from Poverty has enabled us decrease the poverty level in our cluster. May God bless you.
I am Elizabeth Nzuko from Kola Cluster. I thank the project of Path from Poverty to provide us with water tanks. Our families are healthy and clean, and our girls now are very safe. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Regina Baloko from Malele Cluster. We are so grateful for Path from Poverty for helping women in getting the 10,000 water tank. We use Agdam water, whereby families get waterborne diseases like diarrhea, typhoid, and malaria. Those with water tanks have improved their lives, but Those who don't have water tank, they are still suffering. So please, we pray for you donors to support us so that the women can get water tanks. Thank you.
I'm Susan Musembi from Kilome Cluster. I'm so grateful to the Path from Poverty as well as Kilome Cluster as a whole. We thank God for the way the Path from Poverty US has supported Kilome with the water tanks. And in addition to having water in our homes, the women are so glad and they really appreciate the meetings that we have been having. They have improved emotionally, socially, and even physically. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Hello, my name is Sue Musyoka, Regional Project Manager, Kisau Makueni Cluster. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for the partnership between US and Kenyan sisters for initiating Path from Poverty, which has transformed most of the women in the rural Kenyan area, especially Ukambani, from carrying water on their backs to getting water from their homes. Most of them have improved in their families, especially financially, due to income-generating activities. Their health have improved drastically. Personally, I have gained a lot of experience in leadership. Children have improved in their studies due to solar panels. God bless you as you continue supporting us. Thank you.
I'm Agnes Kioko, Project Manager, Boni Region. And as a leader, I can say Path from Poverty has really equipped me. It has powered me. And there before, women didn't know how to plan well. But I can say through Path from Poverty, now they can plan well, they can overcome challenges through good planning. They plan in advance, they plan through wisdom, and they plan through commitment. And by doing that, they have started micro enterprises, small businesses. Now they can have farming, they have tie and dye as women, they have sisal making, they have basket making, and so many. I thank you so much for supporting women, and you have saved so many lives of women in Kenya. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
It is so powerful to hear from our leaders directly. Thank you for joining us in this way, ladies. Good evening. I'm Catherine, Community Engagement Program Manager at Path from Poverty. It's been a challenging year for us all, worlds apart, yet powerful together. We feel blessed as vaccinations finally reached our partners in the Ukambani region of Kenya. They've had to navigate how to care for their families during a military-style COVID-19 lockdown. They have struggled with isolation as groups couldn't meet, and with many markets closed, they have had to be extremely brave and innovative. And yet it's been a year of growth. Women are joining and starting new groups at an unprecedented rate, with 400 new members added since this time last year. New members spend months being trained, organizing their leadership, deciding on income-generating activities and group targets, and eventually saving money jointly to purchase water tanks, which can take years from when they first join. We continue to survey our gift recipients and ask more questions each time about water. How far? How long? And now we're asking, how many times a day do you walk for water? Their answers show us they walk even farther and take longer than we previously thought. It really is a full-time job just to fetch dirty water. Drought or climate change could also be making women walk farther for water. It has certainly affected their income-generating activities, and monthly reports note that women must be creative problem solvers, and groups have to be innovative just to survive. This chart shows some of the new economic activities among the established groups, like carrying water for construction sites, or the revival of old activities such as beehives, traditionally a man's job. They are discovering income generation that uses less water, responds to demand, and adapts to pandemic restrictions. While they're managing these changes, many are still struggling daily with water that looks like this. As Christine from Malili says, the water we use is from the earth dams and is so dirty, as cows, goats, dogs, and wild animals drink there. We're always sick. My leg pains and back aches a lot, as I'm now 60 years old. Christine is one of the 60 women that received a gift water tank this year and responded to our survey. She joined Path from Poverty in 2017. The average wait for this coveted first water tank is 3.5 years, and the average household size is nearly 8, with about 6 children or grandchildren. 1/4 of our women walk twice a day, and more than half of them need children to help carry water daily for the family. And as we already know, those are most often girls. Some husbands help carry water, especially of the younger generation, but a full 15% of the women have to carry the burden of water alone. These new tank owners are more often than not the main breadwinners for their families, and 1/3 of them don't have anyone else contributing income. Their average weekly income is $3. And here you can see their different activities and what that earns on average. Remember, these are women who have been without tanks, so their income generation options are more limited than the slide I showed earlier. The circle size represents how many are doing the activity. Many are making ropes for just over $1 a week. We've heard more women are earning with casual labor, which often means working in someone else's fields. And this is on top of finding water and caring for 6 children. This leads back to why these women so desperately need a tank. Being constantly sick from dirty water is a drain on energy and hope, as well as time and finances. Improving the family's health was just ahead of giving me more time and allowing my daughters to go to school as a reason for why they want a tank. And it's not just family members that will access this new water. They project many community members will too. Finally, we asked about the benefits of being in a group. With many citing, they've learned how to earn money and appreciate having control over the money they earn. But the resounding top answer, how being in a group has helped them, has remained the same. Having people to work with and share my burdens. We are inspired by these women's dedication and hard work to improve the lives of their families and communities. We are compelled to help those that are just starting out on this path from poverty. And at a time when we too have been isolated, we can learn from them that sharing our burdens and working together truly is more powerful. Now, let me introduce you to a group that does this. Kawendo in Kilome Cluster. Listen to their story.
Women living in rural Kenya face seemingly insurmountable challenges daily. It is overwhelming as we are often solely responsible for the things that help our families just survive. Fetching water, providing enough food to avoid constant hunger, looking after and ensuring our children recover from waterborne illnesses, educating our children, caring for our extended family, and even helping members in our community that struggle with hunger, illness, and isolation.
I am Sally of Path from Poverty. Kenya's natural forests were destroyed by colonizers. Now, modern chemicals choke the rivers flowing through Nairobi, which, when mixed with climate change, has created drought and unpredictable rains. The harsh result is people ingest immeasurable contaminants. Women and girls tasked with the daily chore of collecting water, already averaging 35 hours each week, must now walk farther and farther to fetch water, polluted, disease-infested water.
I am Rose, a member of Kawendo Women's Group. We grew from a weekly Bible study in 1997, very much accustomed to hard work and bound together by a desire to change our lives. We started with one cow and worked together until we each had a cow, providing income and nutrition for our families. We assisted each other to dig water ponds since our only water was far away, and as part of Kenya's Green Belt movement, we planted a tree nursery. This helped heal the land and obtained some income for our members. As Nobel Peace Prize winner Wangari Maathai says, when we plant trees, we plant the seeds of peace and hope. But it was not enough, our water was still dirty. When we found Path from Poverty, we saw the opportunity to receive training in leadership, health and sanitation, crop planting and harvesting, banking, record keeping, and improved relationships. The model was so attractive, we joined in 2010. With the support of Path from Poverty Regional Manager, we rented land as a group, something unheard of as it is men who have this privilege. An amazing thing for us women to do. We cultivated, planted, watered, and harvested beans together as our first crop, joyously carrying the large bags to market. When we obtained our very first water catchment tank, we put it in our tree nursery instead of at any of our homes. Our vision to improve lives was more important than our personal access to clean water.
Path from Poverty supports women to learn together, work collaboratively, and lift each other up to ultimately break the cycle of generational poverty. Kawendo has been transformed in so many ways. From one cow, every woman has 4 cows and practices animal husbandry to increase milk production. Within a few years, all of Kawendo's members obtained water catchment tanks, and they invited other women to join, welcoming and mentoring them into their businesses. Every member has at least 2 water tanks and has educated her children through high school, even some to college and university. This cycle of empowerment has resulted in over 30 members to date who have walked with Kawendo along the path from poverty. Leah is one of these women. She and her baby daughter were abandoned by her husband. His family turned against her and took the land she was living on. She had to return to her parents, traditionally seen as a disgrace. After joining Path from Poverty and getting her first tank in 2019, Leah's life improved in many ways. Now a self-sustaining farmer, her greatest joy is being able to put her daughter Michelle through school.
We continue to live our vision of improving the community. Last year, Kawendo assisted HIV-positive community members with food, medicine, and even goats. This is the model's strength, not charity, but transformation. Our biggest contribution to the community has been building a large sand dam which provides water for cattle lasting 2 months after each rainy season. Our dam has changed the environment to a green valley, and we are considered teachers now. County officials rely on the women of Kawendo to educate others on how to make sand dams.
When women come together determined to make sustainable personal and communal impact, we can see the power of the Path from Poverty model. Promoting our mission remains critical because thousands of women in rural Kenya are still living in poverty, struggling with long, dangerous walks for contaminated water. It is only through the generosity of caring individuals understanding the need for supporting women to become leaders who collaborate, discern needs, and take action together that hope remains and change occurs.